Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I want to do my initial unboxing and first run impressions on the Altra Rivera 3. Got this cool yellow colorway, I really like it. I owned the Altra Rivera 1, which had a knit upper. It had, of course, the zero drop. It had 26 millimeters of stack height in the heel and the forefoot. It only weighed 8.6 ounces. I really skipped the 2. I was not necessarily that excited about the slim fit that Altra puts on the Riveras. I think the slim fit is something that Altra has gone to more to appeal to more runners out there, more mainstream. But it's still foot shaped. It's still a little bit wider than a conventional road shoe, I think. And like if you compare it to my Torrens, you're going to see that the forefoot is definitely narrower on the Rivera 3 as opposed to my Torren 6s. But I've been reading good reviews that they've made some updates that make this shoe really nice. Like I said, the weight has gone up. It was like 8.6 ounces in the original version. This is up to like 9.8, so it definitely weighs more. But some of the changes they've made, the first one had a real puffy tongue. This one's a little bit thinner, but it's still nice cushioned. It's not the ones that they've made that kind of can dig into your foot. They've increased the stack height in this version to a 28 millimeter stack height, which basically makes it the same stack height as my beloved Altra Torrens. But it uses Ego midsole. The Altra Torrens uses an Ego Max. The biggest difference is from what I've seen, I believe the Ego is actually slightly more responsive, but also a little firmer. The Ego Max is a little bit softer, gives you a little bit more of a cushy feel. I'm going to see if that's really true. I was kind of looking forward to trying these just to see if that's true. Always the comparison hasn't been identical. Like my Torrens were a 28 millimeter Ego Max, and my Riveras were a 26 millimeter Ego, and then I've had Ego in the 24 millimeter Escalantes and the 25 millimeter Lone Peaks, but I've never had one with this much stack height in the Ego midsole. So I'm kind of curious to see if 28 millimeters of stack height of Ego makes it feel as soft as the Ego Max, but I have a feeling it's still going to feel slightly more responsive and slightly less cushy, but we will see. I think this will be a good daily trainer. The actual original Riveras actually worked out really well for me as a daily trainer. Again, my preference was just not the slim fit. I've become a little bit more used to the slim fit. My Altra Advantage Tempos also have the slim fit, and I don't really have any problem with it. My foot, when I measure it on a Braddock device, is actually slightly narrow. I just prefer to have plenty of room for my feet to display, my toes display, and I think this one still gives me the room for that. I was not uncomfortable in the original. And this upper, they've actually gone to using what they call a dual mesh, and you can't really see it in the picture, I'm sure, but you can actually see under the lower mesh, the lower layer of mesh is the Altra logo, and then on the top there's a second level that you can kind of see through. But kind of interesting design, but I have a feeling it's going to breathe pretty well, so I'm hoping to get some runs out in the heat and see if that's true. Anyway, I'm really kind of looking forward to giving these a shot. I think they're going to be an interesting shoe, and I thought it was time to give the new version of Rivera a try. Anyway, I'll report back after I run in them. Oh, one other thing I wanted to do was I said they're rated as 9.8 ounces in a men's size 9. I wanted to weigh them on my scale. I'm a men's size 11 and a half, so they're going to weigh somewhat more. And I'm getting 10.44, which is actually not much of an increase for that amount of size. Normally, I'll see between a men's size 9 and a men's size 11 and a half a jump of an ounce or maybe a little bit more. That's only like a slightly over ½ ounce. Yes, I'm getting very consistently 10.44. So actually pretty happy with the weight. That's actually not a very heavy shoe for a men's size 11 and a half. But now we're gonna give them a try. Hey guys, so I was gonna give my first run impressions from the Altra Rivera 3. I just ran 3.2 miles. They were kind of what I expected. They are the Ultra Slim Fit, but I have no trouble because they're still as wide as most standard shoes. I do still prefer probably their standard fit for a little bit wider toe box, but I had room for my toes to splay. I was very comfortable in these shoes. I do think they're going to breathe well. This was kind of a cool day, so it really wasn't a good test for how they're going to do in the heat. But I'll know by the 50 mile. I'm going to do the full review how they do out in the heat. The Altra Ego midsole, it was Altra's first, I think, nitrogen infused foam. It's pretty bouncy. I've only used it in shoes that have 24, 25, or 26 millimeter stack heights. This has 28, but it performed very similar to how I anticipated. It's very bouncy. More cushioned than having you going up to 2 millimeters in stack height. It is more cushioned, but I would say it's not a real soft cushion. It's still pretty bouncy. You're probably even bouncier having the 28 millimeters. I think this is going to be a very good daily trainer for me. I'm looking forward to it. The original Riveras worked out to be a good training shoe. The only issue I really had with the Riveras, well, other than Slim Fit not being my favorite, but they still worked fine, and these still will too. The only issue I really had is the outsole rubber wore pretty quick. I had pictures in a video where I had kind of wore through the rubber within 160 miles. I was able to add shoe goo to those shoes, and I got them to 330 miles. The outsole rubber in these looks pretty similar, so I would still expect to be in the 300 to 350 miles that I'll get out of them, and I'll probably have to add some shoe goo to get there. I love my Ultra shoes, but if I had any complaint of them, it would probably be on their road shoes. The outsole rubber, I think, wears a little bit quick for me. It could just be my foot strike, but they don't seem quite as durable as some other brands, but I still love my shoes. Sometimes Ultra has trouble with lace length being incredibly long or very short. I think these came out really good. I tie a double knot and they're about perfect, so I like the lace length. Anyway, my initial impressions are good. I could definitely pick up the pace in them pretty easily.
Even though they added a little bit of weight with the extra stack height, I really don't feel it. I find them comfortable. Anyway, I hope you found the initial impressions video interesting. If you liked it, please consider hitting the thumbs up, the like button. If you're interested in more of my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Like I said, with these shoes, I will have a full review when I get up to at least 50 miles. I'll also do probably some comparison videos of them to some of my other shoes. Probably particularly like my Altra Torrens. Anyway, I hope you're having a great day and keep moving.